Well, President Joe Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law. The landmark bill ensures same-sex and interracial marriages are recognized in every state should the Supreme Court decide to overturn key decisions legalizing those unions in the future. On the South Lawn of the White House, the president was joined by a bipartisan group of lawmakers and advocates who pushed Congress to make those rights into law. They were among thousands in attendance for the celebration. While the bill provides a safety net for same-sex and interracial couples, President Biden says more work needs to be done to protect members of the LGBTQ community from discrimination and violence.
We have to speak out. We must stop the hate and violence, like we just saw in Colorado Springs, where a place of acceptance and celebration was targeted for violence and terror.
Well, the Respect for Marriage Act does not force states to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. So with the signing of this bill into law, there are many questions about the effects of this law on religious institutions.
So Brandon Lewis from our exclusive Verified team is looking into claims that the law will penalize tax-exempt churches that oppose same-sex marriage.
On December 13th, President Joe Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law. It requires federal and state governments to recognize all marriages that were legally performed in any state. Some people, including those affiliated with churches, claimed because the law applied to government agencies that it would give the Internal Revenue Service the power to revoke the tax-exempt status of churches that refused to perform same-sex marriages. And a Verified viewer on TikTok asked us what the law actually does. So, let's verify. Does the Respect for Marriage Act give the IRS the ability to revoke the tax-exempt status for churches that oppose same-sex marriage? Our sources are the Respect for Marriage Act, a joint statement issued by some of the senators who passed it, the IRS, and Dale Carpenter, a constitutional law expert with Southern Methodist University. The RFMA explicitly says the law can't be used to deny or alter the tax-exempt status or tax treatment of an eligible person or entity. That language was added by a bipartisan group of senators who wanted to ensure that a church's tax-exempt status is unrelated to marriage. The law also specifies it only applies to those acting under the color of state law, which Carpenter says is a legal expression referring to the government or government officials, not private organizations like churches. So, no, the Respect for Marriage Act does not give the IRS the ability to revoke the tax-exempt status for churches that oppose same-sex marriage. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
We had a little bit of a snow day for your Wednesday morning coming up in your full forecast. I'm going to let you know how long this snow is sticking around.